Have you ever seen those photos that just look too good to be true? Maybe it's a picture of mountains with mist in the valleys, or a beautiful white beach with crystal clear water. I've always wanted to know how to take these photos. So a few weeks ago I sat down with Robert Cadares. He's a professional photographer, and I asked him some questions about how to take these photos. I saw some of his work before, and I knew that he likes to take photos of nature, and I knew that he was really good in his photos, so I knew that he could help me. I asked him what the most important things were for taking a photo, and he replied to me with, right before you take a photo, you want to make sure that you take into account the lighting, the angle you're taking the photo in, and what setting you're using on your camera. He went into a lot of detail about all these points. I'll try to summarize it up and give you guys the main facts about them. So the most important thing in every photo is the lighting. Anyone who has any experience with photography knows this. If you have too much light, then it's going to fade out the colors and it's going to make them drawn out, and it's not going to look that good of a photo. Also, if you have too little light, it's going to be a dark photo and you're not going to be able to capture all the details you want to capture in your subject. And of course, you can't always control how much light you have in the situations, especially if you're taking photos outside. So Robert recommended to go outside when it's partly cloudy, so that way you still get some shade, but you still get most of the sunlight that you need. He also recommended that you should always have your camera in the shade and have your object in the sunlight. This way your object gets the most light that it can and you can capture all the details you need in it, but also your camera's in the shade so you don't get any glare from the sunlight. So after making sure the lighting's good, you want to find a good angle for your photo, because every object has a different angle that would work best for the photo. This is done by moving your camera around in different ways, maybe getting above an object, below it, to the side. There's a rule called the rule of thirds, and basically it's a grid line on your camera lens. You never want anything right in the center. Because if you have something in the center, it's just really boring, and the viewers of the photo don't really enjoy the picture very much. You can also step back or get closer to your photos to also have this effect on them. This works a lot better with the background. So if you have a beautiful background and you want to capture in your photo, maybe take a step back so that way you can fit it all in the photo. On the contrary, if you have a boring background, you just want a picture of the photo, you can get as close as you want to it, so that way you can capture all the detail and it looks really vivid. So now, there are many different settings with your camera, and I actually took a class on this at the mall, at Ritz Camera Store. They went through the whole camera with me and taught me a lot about all the settings. So that was one source that I got that information from. Robert also mentioned a bunch of facts about the camera as well. About the main settings in particular, the P, the S, the A, and the M. Now these are the ones that people use the most and that are most effective in the camera. The P stands for the program mode. And this is basically an auto mode, so it's like a point and shoot. You can take photos really quickly and they come out looking alright. But Robert doesn't recommend this one very well because you can't control the exact settings of it. It is automatically done for you. The next one is S, and this stands for the shutter speed. So this is how long you want the camera to take one photo. I think the limit on my camera is 30 seconds. So a thing Robert and I did, we went into a really dark room and we set it for 30 seconds and we took a picture. We went in front of it and we used lights, flashlights, lightsabers, and you can do really cool effects with these things. And everything you do with light in front of the photo is captured in the one photo. And so it looks really cool. And this thing is called light painting. The next one is A, and it stands for aperture. And this is basically the depth of field. So if you want an object brought out of the photo and the background all blurred out, you can set this here. Or if you want them all in focus, you can also set this in this setting. The last setting is M. It stands for manual. And this is the one that Robert recommends the most, but it does take a while to get used to, because this gives you complete access over all your settings in your camera. You can set the shutter speed, the depth of field, the aperture, anything you want, you can set it in this setting. Because every situation is different, so you can always accommodate for the light, or the glares, or anything that would affect the photo in that situation. Art mentioned many other tips and tricks about taking photos, and I can always contact them again if you guys have any other questions or would like to know more. So just to recap, Robert mentioned that before you take a photo, you want to make sure you have the best lighting, a good angle, and you know what setting you're taking your photo with. I hope this information has helped you guys out, and I hope that you guys can go out and try this with your own photography.